In the early 2000s, So Def Records were at the top of the music industry, producing high-selling albums like Coming From Where I'm From by Anthony Hamilton, which was certified platinum, and a couple of other gold-certified albums like Drankin Patnaz and Hard by YoungBloodz and Jagged Edge, respectively. Despite having such an enviable artist roster, label owner and legendary producer Jermaine Dupri was still looking out for artists to sign to his label, and after a while he stumbled upon J-Kwon.
So J-Kwon, give me some. Kids say, look at that dude with the most sneakers on. They say I talk real loud like I'm on speakerphone. Yeah. Bump rappers, hey, just another popsicle. Kids stay licking my wrist thinking they popsicle.
J-Kwon signed to So Def when he was 17 years old, and at the time it looked like he was destined for greatness. J-Kwon started rapping at a very young age, as rap is all he's ever dreamed of, and he also got his lucky break quite early. At just 12 years old, J-Kwon was living on the streets and going to different rap battles, honing his skills. Before long, he met with Track Boys through a barber who got him into a meeting with L.A. Reid and Jermaine Dupri. He blew them away with his witty, unapologetic, yet serenading rap and got signed to Jermaine's label. Although J-Kwon's Tipsy rose to the #2 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 and was played literally by everyone, his rap career didn't really take off the way it was supposed to. Before long, he was just another one-hit wonder and seemingly disappeared off the face of the planet. So the question is, what happened to J-Kwon? What up guys, Ali here and welcome to Ali Talks Music. Add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music as well. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the video. J-Kwon had everybody singing Tipsy before he was even legally allowed to drink at a pub. Tipsy was more than just a song. It was a party anthem. It got tons of radio play nationally and internationally and peaked at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100, spending a total of 14 weeks on the chart. At the time, this song's only competition was Usher's Yeah, but Tipsy was holding its own. Tipsy has been J-Kwon's biggest hit to date. His only other moderately successful single was You and Me, which peaked at #20 on the US rap chart and featured Sadia. In Tipsy's music video, J-Kwon holds a house party that birthed the famous phrases, "Teen drinking is bad" and "Yo, I got a fake ID though." The video paid homage to House Party, Risky Business, and Gin and Juice's music video. It featured cameos from Daz Dillinger, The Brat, Jermaine Dupri, Murphy Lee, and actor Lavelle Crawford. Because J-Kwon had a highly successful single, he dropped an album called Hood Hop, which sold about 125,000 copies in the first week. The album was overseen by Jermaine Dupri and produced almost entirely by Track Boys. Interestingly enough, the project doesn't have many big-name features, as the only big names on this project are Jermaine Dupri and Murphy Lee. What was most astonishing was that an album from a new kid on the block with no superstar features would perform so well. Nonetheless, the album didn't do very well as far as reviews go, and J-Kwon was labeled as slightly better than average rapper. Nonetheless, J-Kwon went from a kid on the streets of St. Louis to performing internationally and getting major endorsement deals. His song Tipsy was remixed by British rapper/producer Sway Dasafo to feature fellow rappers Chingy and Murphy Lee in a commercial for Pepsi. It didn't stop there. The song was featured in movies such as Breaking All the Rules, Soul Plane, White Chicks, as well as in the LA Rush video game.
Honestly, like, you know, every new movie come out, I don't care what it is. Shout out to Sisters. Sisters just came out. They used it. Runner, Project X. I mean, you can keep going. Soul Plane. I mean, all the big names. Like, any movie come out, any year they gonna use the record, and that, you know what, I just love you know, my whole crew for that, you know what I'm saying, Track Boys for life.
For him, making music was not about the money and was more about the recognition he got from the fans. J-Kwon never really got any attention growing up, so he believed that if he got on TV, he would be noticed by everybody and be taken seriously. And he did just that. After doing his thing alone for a couple of years, with little or no support, he found himself rapping over the phone to Grammy-nominated renowned producers Track Boys. Track Boys loved what they heard, and they arranged a meeting with label boss Jermaine Dupri and L.A. Reid, and soon after this JayKwon got his first deal. According to JayKwon, Jermaine Dupri did not like Tipsy, and he told JayKwon the song would not be on the album. However, he took a risk and took the song to L.A. Reid, who liked it, and asked for the song to be released before the album. Now, when an artist begins making it big, a lot of controversy usually comes their way. Just as he was beginning to enjoy life as a star, a lady reached out to him claiming that she was carrying his child.
Another topic niggas be asking me about, like, Kwon, we be hearing these records like you be saying, f your baby mama, f your baby mama. Is it really f your baby mama? It really is f my baby mama. Like, straight up. She get $2,500 a month, so all the niggas go pimp her because she got the cake.
Although JayKwon had been with this lady, he had a gut feeling that this child was not his. However, JayKwon was too busy with his music career to care and decided to give her some money just to keep her quiet. A couple of months down the line, JayKwon found himself in a child support crisis that would see him pay over $2,500 monthly for a child he believed was not his. The lady's lawyer brought up pictures of his mansions and cars, claiming that he had the money to support this woman. To make things even more complicated, he was not allowed to take a paternity test to figure out if the kid was truly his. After a lengthy legal tussle, which had him locked up for contempt, JayKwon finally conceded to defeat and agreed to pay child support for a child that he was not sure was his. He paid child support from 2003 to 2010 before he was finally granted a paternity test. And guess what? He found out that he was not the father. Damn. So he basically spent about 7 years paying for a child that was not his. Now, while all of this was going on, a major change in the management of his label shook JayKwon's career to its root. Right after JayKwon released the Hood Up album, his label got shut down. Essentially, there was no one to promote him and he was left clueless. His first album basically promoted itself, so for an album with no label backing, it's safe to say that it did well as far as sales go. At the time, L.A. Reid, who backed JayKwon's career, had been fired for incurring a loss of $100 million and failing to promote the label's more established artists. JayKwon was no longer under the contract with So Def Records, but was now under Jive Records, the beginning of the end for JayKwon's career. Now, Jermaine Dupri did suggest a joint venture with Jive Records, but they rejected his proposal. Also, JayKwon never really got along with his new boss. It was a very frosty relationship, and JayKwon chose to be rebellious and not give them any songs to work with, despite being contractually obliged to release an album with the label. At the time, he had many songs on his hard drive, but he refused to turn them over. In turn, the label treated JayKwon as an outcast and focused on other artists, like Chris Brown. He eventually fought to get released from Jive Records. Around 2008, JayKwon released the song Boo Boo through his own label, Hood Hop Music.
Yeah, my game ain't rap too tight, you know I'm with you when you right. I was cheating nerd that even.
However, the single did not gain much traction. The following year, he followed up with an album called Hood Hop 2, which was released exclusively for digital download.
You know, everybody want to know what I've been up to and all that, man. Basically, what I'm on right now is like doing the new hood hop, like just the movement shit, you know what I'm saying? This stamped by the block, right? So we're gonna keep it gutter. We're gonna keep it real short and simple too. You know what I'm saying? Gino Green, what's that? The Greenhouse Effect?
Greenhouse Effect.
Greenhouse 2.5 coming out. 2.5 coming out when? June
the 15th.
I stole that. That's my nigga JD, so don't even ask me about that. Me and JD still cool for niggas who do want to know. That's like my big brother. But so you got the Hood Hot 2 out right now on iTunes. Make sure you get that shit. You got the 2.5 coming out June 15th. And you got Greenhouse Effect coming out. Then you got the SOC coming out. That's my group. You know what I'm saying? So, and we just shitting on niggas like it ain't nothing I ain't gonna do. Like I'm in the studio right now. You see how we looking, man. This straight gutter shit.
Since Hood Hop 2 did not do very well, he thought releasing Hood Hop 2.5 would do better. so he quickly released Hood Hop 2.5 on CD, with the first official single being Louis Bounce.
JayKwon back with 100 shells. Sing the new scene. They got a. Before I go too, man, I must tell y'all dudes, man, about the new single. It's called Louis Bounce. I call it I Smack Nigga. That's what it's called, I Smack Nigga. We shooting a video. Stand by the block. We'll be there. Make sure y'all stay tuned, and it's just going down, man. I just love these cameras, man.
At the time, his own label, Hood Hop Music, was in a 2-album deal with Gracie Records. But this situation got out of hand, especially when he was reported missing for about a month in 2010. Not long after this claim was made, JayKwon made a video to prove that he was still alive and well. According to JayKwon, these rumors began because of Gracie Records, because they were trying to gain attention for his next project, but this ultimately did not sit well with him. After a while, JayKwon, not liking his label situation, decided to have his contract terminated. A few days after leaving the label, JayKwon released his next album called JayKwon. He didn't release any singles for the album. Now at this point, it was becoming increasingly clear that JayKwon's career was on the decline.
When you roll with who I roll with,
Yes, sir.
God.
For what?
Okay. I begged them for it and I got it, and be careful what you ask for.
Yes, sir.
I can't get away from the record.
Despite not having the best times in the industry, a comment from Kanye during an interview inspired JayKwon to keep making music. Around 2013, Kanye revealed in an interview that his #1 rap song was JayKwon's Tipsy. This news got to JayKwon very fast, and he was ecstatic. The man still calls himself a proud Kanye West fan to this day. With the new fire in him, JayKwon was ready to take on those that had been talking bad about his rap career. So around 2013, he released a diss track titled Pushing the Odds, a song that took aim at Odd Future and Pusha T, who had previously dissed him.
Niggas say I'm dead, I say I'm too alive. Let me respect my elders, I'm 26.
At the time, he didn't really understand why Pusha T would diss him. And as far as Odd Future goes, he thought that they were just a bunch of kids messing around. Nonetheless, JayKwon felt like he had no choice but to go at them and prove that he was not one to be messed with. Now around 2018, JayKwon went on tour with Nelly, and this lit a fire under JayKwon. And it was on from there. He and Nelly went on to work on a couple of unreleased tracks and planned the 2018 tour together.
All fashion over. Fashion over.
Now JayKwon has remained relatively quiet in the music game, and at this point I think that nobody's even talking about him. After making Tipsy, JayKwon failed to make another hit on the same level, and this was the beginning of the end of his illustrious career. JayKwon gets about 1.2 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and his most listened to songs are Tipsy, Get Triple X'd, Hood Hop, You and Me, and Still Tipsy. That's it for me, it's your boy Ali. What happened to JayKwon in your opinion? Let me know down below. Video requests, be sure to let me know down below as well. New What Happened To video dropping soon. Also add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. Till next time, peace.